Okay. How old were you during the civil rights movement?
I was between the ages of 16 and probably 28.
What part of the United States were you living in?
During the most part of the civil rights movement, I was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Um, what were your parents' opinions against African Americans?
I would have to say that my parents were, having been raised in the South as I was, um, they were they went along with segregation, but they were never really involved in it or took an active part of it.
While you were growing up, what did your parents tell you, or what was the environment that you grew up in and with your siblings?
Well, as I said, we grew up in the South, and segregation was rampant everywhere. Uh, the black folks were referred to politely as colored, and they had their own drinking fountains, they had their own restroom facilities, and for the most part they were not allowed into restaurants where quote white folk ate. So there was, as I say, segregation was rampant in my where I was born and raised.
Um, what? How did your peers treat the African Americans?
The people that I hung out with in high school and so forth, it really wasn't an issue because we didn't have a Negro population in our area. It was they just were not there.
Do you remember the first time you saw discrimination?
The first time I saw it, I was probably 5 or 6 years old, but I didn't know what I was seeing. We only had one Negro family in the entire county where I was born, and they were very well respected as far as their work ethic and all that sort of thing, and I never knew of anyone mistreating them. But again, at 5 years of age, I was not all that aware.
Yeah. Did you ever take any part in discriminating?
I have never had an active part in discrimination. I've always been embarrassed by it.
That's good. Do you wish that you did something to help the civil rights movement or do something against it, or?
I can't say that I wish I had participated in any of the major events. I just remember feeling guilt and shame for the way they were treated in all the instances I saw on television.
What do you think of the civil rights movement today?
I think that they need that the black folk need to continue to push. There's still a lot of anti-black emotions and feelings, and I just wish it would all go away, as I'm sure all of them do.
Yeah. Is there anything you remember growing up? Do you remember anything that was distinct to you during the civil rights movement, such as like riots or thoughts going through your mind?
I remember watching the events in Mississippi and Alabama on television, and as I said earlier, I was embarrassed and felt very, very sorry for the black folks who were trying to have their rights enforced and so forth, and they were treated very, very poorly. I remember specifically the Watts riots. There, I feel that the violence got way, way out of hand. But could it have been handled differently? Quite likely, but not with the people that were involved.
Thank you.